Welcome to the Man of Recaps. This is The Bachelor, Episode 5. Last week ended on a cliffhanger. We were right before the rose ceremony, but the girls were all mad at Peter for taking Alea back.
She made her bed and she has to Alea in it.
Luckily, very quickly, Peter realizes he made a huge mistake and sends Alea back home. Then they do have a rose ceremony where the last couple of girls I have never seen before are out of here. So the show's back on track. We're ready to have some fun going to Costa Rica. Here's a Bachelor geography lesson for you. Costa Rica is not an island. You're thinking of Puerto Rico. But when Peter meets the girls here, he's got a huge bandage on his head. He spins an elaborate tale, which I was believing until the part where he wrestled a puma. The true story is hilarious. He bumped his head on a golf cart, which caused him to smash a glass into his forehead. If you're thinking to yourself, how is that even possible? Here's the tape. I rewound and watched this about a dozen times, and here it is for you guys. Enjoy. Anyway, the first Costa Rica date goes to Sydney. She was the one who led the charge last week about, hey Peter, you've been totally ignoring us because of this drama. So now she gets a great one-on-one time, a helicopter ride over Costa Rica, and a beautiful picnic. She and Peter connected early on. She had a rough childhood growing up without her father and being mixed race in the South. More importantly though, she is gorgeous, and Peter says she's the best kisser in the house. They go down to a waterfall hot tub and have a steamy makeout session. Alright, this is where Peter shines. Dealing with the house drama, he has no clue. Making out in hot tubs, he's your guy. Speaking of house drama, Kelsey, the champagne crier, is crying again. She just had her one-on-one date with Peter last week where they had a real connection, and it's hard to see him go off with other girls to theoretically make out in hot tubs. Yes, it is weird, and in real life it would be a deal breaker if the guy you just started dating was still dating 12 other girls. Tammy tries to console her like, hey, it's The Bachelor, that's how it goes, just, suck it up. The next day is a group date, and unlike football, this one plays to the strengths of these wannabe Instagram models. They're doing a photo shoot for Cosmopolitan. It's fun times, girls in bikinis, Peter's abs. Victoria F breaks the seal and starts kissing Peter, which, then it's just a kiss fest after that. Victoria F, in fact, wins the challenge, and she gets the personal photo shoot with Peter for the cover of Cosmo. So, watch out for that. Tammy's kind of fed up with how Kelsey's been crying around and starts bad-mouthing her to the other girls. Luckily, she stops there and doesn't turn this into a whole episode-consuming drama. Just kidding! She tells Peter about how Kelsey's having a mental breakdown and maybe has a drinking problem. And so Kelsey's the center of drama once again. The next date is Kelly, the lawyer from Chicago who met Peter before the show by random chance. She played a big part in the first episodes, but we haven't really seen her at all lately. Apparently Peter hasn't either. He's concerned that their relationship started out great, but has kind of plateaued. They go to some sort of spiritual spa situation, you know how those are. And all the signs come back that these two aren't really in the same place right now. They have a talk about it. Peter's like, hey, I'm really into you. Are you feeling this? Or do you just want to go home? It's kind of difficult to decipher this conversation because they're not allowed to say, yeah, we're on a reality show. It's weird. They say things like, this process is difficult and this journey's not easy. The gist of it is that Kelly's a normal, mature woman with a career and stuff. She's not your typical Bachelor contestant who's just happy to get engaged after being on a reality TV show. But she's like, I really do like you, Peter. I want to keep this going. And so they keep going to a hot tub with the waterfall for making out. The next day, Kelsey is up to no good. She sneaks over to Peter's apartment to have a talk. She's like, hey, Tammy's been bad-mouthing me and my feelings are hurt. And Peter's eating this up. I don't know what he sees in her. It's obvious she's a crazy person. But he gives her a rose right now to let her know she's safe. When she comes back rose in hand, needless to say, the other girls are not happy. They're even less happy when Chris Harrison comes in to tell him the cocktail party's canceled. Peter knows who he wants to send home. I feel like Peter's canceled a lot of events this season. Does he just have better stuff to do? So yes, the girls all yell at each other.
Somebody yelling? It's like I want to know, but I don't want to know.
But then it's time for the rose ceremony, and without the cocktail party to solidify relationships with Peter, a lot of the girls are worried. My girl McKenna, in particular, is freaking out. The editors love cutting to her. It seems like she often has the best reactions to different situations. Peter, though, has not seen much of her at all lately. She's worried she's going. So the rose ceremony's about to begin, but Tammy interrupts. Hey, can I have a quick word with you? If I were the Bachelor, I would say, no, that's totally unfair. We're specifically not having having a cocktail party, so no one gets any time with me. You shouldn't be special. But Peter's a sucker. He goes and has a chat. She tries to quickly defend herself against Kelsey's accusations. But then McKenna's like, well, if she gets to talk to Peter, I'm going to too. And she steals a chat with Peter. Eventually, though, the rose ceremony does happen, and my girl McKenna's sticking around. With one rose left, it looks like Tammy's on the chopping block, but oh, she actually gets a rose. This sends home the first girl whose name I actually remember, Lexi, the cute redhead. She was a sweetheart. She and Peter bonded over liking cool cars. And since Tammy and McKenna both got to stay, she's asking herself, did those cheating conversations save them and send me home? Now don't forget, there's a bonus Bachelor episode this week. I don't know why it's happening, and it seems like a lot of Bachelor. The preview teases a standard episode full of some exciting romance and more annoying drama. We'll find out next time on The Bachelor. If you like this recap, hit that subscribe button. I'm bringing you the best recaps of TV and movies, so don't miss out.